Alright, cats and kittens. Well, I'm back with another Speakdom here. And for those who don't know what Speakdom is a little series of videos that I do where I pretty much just kind of talk about what's on my mind relating to real world issues or issues on the internet or whatever. Just, it's not really anything Dragon Ball related. Sometimes you'll hear rants. Sometimes you'll hear me talk, about real shit. And it's usually just me kind of talking and rambling to get stuff off my chest and to talk to you guys because the majority of people who watch these videos are the most loyal followers of the channel, of Geekdom101. And I've said it a million times and I'm going to keep saying it. I'm very, very appreciative of the people who have been here from the beginning. I'm very appreciative of all the new people. I really legitimately care about my subscribers. I really do. You're not gonna see me just drop a video and just never comment, which a lot of people on YouTube do. A lot of people do that. You will see me active in the comment section, which is actually part of the reason why I'm even doing this video. This all stems from that. Is that, I don't just say leave a comment, let me know what you think down below without actually reading it. Can I see every comment? Of course not. It's impossible. There's too many of them. But I see as many as I can with as much and try to spend as much time as I can reading comments. And I do community reaction videos and Q&A. So, lately there's been a couple guys, and there's not a lot of them, a couple guys who actually have the audacity to say I don't care about my subs and, oh, well, you're big now, so you don't really care, which I'm not big. 65,000 subscribers is not big on YouTube. It really isn't. Big is like 250,000. That's big. I'm not big, all right? But people have actually had the balls to confront me and say that now I've changed. Well, I've never changed. I've always been exactly the same. I've always been me. And those of you who have been following me from the beginning, you know that I've always been me. So I want to talk a little bit about the myth of freedom of speech, and I want to talk about the difference between constructive criticism and criticism, okay? So people lately, like I said, there's not a lot of them, and most people watching this video don't fall into that category, who actually have, come to me and said things like, you're doing a lot of Dokkan videos. Can you stop doing them and things like that? Here's the thing. Let me tell you what this channel is. Geekdom101 is the name of this channel. My name is Big D. That has been my nickname since 7th grade. And I run this channel, right? This channel is about creating a positive, intelligent community to discuss things about Dragon Ball, Star Wars, movies, and whatever the hell else I want to add to it. My interest in life. That's what Geekdom101 is all about. This channel is not catered to people who can't let go of their nostalgia. This channel is not catered to people who have issues accepting reality. This channel is not catered to people who have such vacuous and empty lives that they literally spend all day insulting others on the internet from the comfort of their home behind a keyboard. Right? And I've talked about keyboard warriors many times on these Speakdoms, but that's not what I'm talking about here necessarily. Here's the myth of freedom of speech and constructive criticism. So, okay, I will give you an example of constructive criticism versus deconstructive trolling, okay? Because I've seen people say things about the way I pronunciate things or the things that I say, my opinions, how I should run my channel. First of all, if you're on YouTube, and this goes for everybody listening to this, if you are a follower, if you're a content creator, or if you're a human being, nobody has the right to tell you what to believe in. Nobody has the right to change who you are other than you. Constructive criticism. Hey, Geekdom, love your videos, but... And by the way, there's actually a psychological way to give constructive criticism to where you don't come off like a moron. Hey, Geekdom, I love your videos, but can you improve the audio? you kind of sound a little muffled there. Or, hey, man, love your videos. Can you maybe do a discussion on this? Or can you re-look at this? Or, even if somebody says, hey, Geekdom, you were wrong about this. That's okay. Well, I was wrong. I have never once claimed to be, except for once as a joke. I did do it as a joke once. Flawless. I'm not flawless. I'm not ice cold, no mistakes, even though the joke's been going around for a while. And I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to Dragon Ball. I do consider myself pretty damn knowledgeable, right? I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's ass. I'm in a pretty high tier, but there's still people out there who I can still learn from. And some of them are some of you. Legit, I have learned things from my subscribers. I have learned things from my followers. That's constructive criticism. Why the fuck do you saying like that? The fuck's wrong with you? Why are you bitching at the beginning of your review? God damn, man, stop doing this kind of video. That's not constructive criticism. That's you trying to imprint what you want onto my channel. There is a difference between me listening to my subscribers, giving them what they want, which is what I do, which is what I have done, and some dickwad behind a keyboard in the safety of his own home, because, like I've said a million times, the internet has given people the ability to be assholes with no consequences. It's all about consequences. I'm not going to listen to you. If you haven't figured out what this channel is about by now, I suggest you go back and you watch some of my other videos and figure it out. I prefer the Japanese version of Dragon Ball. That's never going to change. Because no matter what, it is the original version, it is the true version, and no matter how much you love the dub, even people who worked on the show, Chris Sabat himself on my channel, criticized the dub for the same reasons I did. The script changes and the bullshit. They exist. So if a guy who worked on the fucking show, who made money on the show and made a career off of it, says this, at this point, you as a fanboy are devalidated. You are. Not saying your opinion doesn't matter, because you can like whatever you want, and that's my whole point. But you can't sit there and tell me, hey, is there any way you can say this the English dub way? You should totally fucking say it the dub way. That's not what I do. And like I've said a million times, if this is a problem, unsubscribe, have a nice day. I legitimately don't care. If it bothers you so much, I don't want to be the pain in your life. Unsubscribe. I'm not even kidding. I cater to everybody, but I have my own preference because that's my opinion, and I have reasons to back up my opinion. That's the difference between constructive and deconstructive criticism. So my new policy on the channel now is I've never been the kind of person who doesn't want people to speak their mind, because I always want people to speak their mind. But if speaking your mind means attacking other people, it's not even me, because I don't care. Because I know, here, let me tell you why I don't care. I know, no matter what, that successful people who make money and are surrounded by beautiful women and are living happy lives and are financially secure don't have time to spend on the internet calling other people names. If you do that, you are a loser. Okay? You are losing at life. I'm telling you now, this is a fact. I'm not going to put up with somebody calling my subscribers faggots and cocksuckers, because I saw that recently. I'm laying down the ban hammer. I've got a new, I guess like a new spam filter to filter out certain words. I don't want racial slurs in my freaking comment section. I don't want, people calling me a weeb. Weeaboo is a banned term on my channel because I despise that term. And 90% of people who use that term have no idea what they're talking about. They don't even know what that word even means. And it's like, I'm not going to tolerate that disrespect. Let me tell you why I'm doing it. Let me tell you exactly why this is a problem, okay? And the myth of constructive criticism, again, and freedom of speech. This is the whole thing. It's about the myth of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is... Because what's going to happen is you're going to have some moron say, well, how are you going to censor your subs, man? They can say whatever they want. There are people who actually believe that freedom of speech gives them the right to be disrespectful. But here's the problem. Here's the conundrum, okay? Freedom of speech was not originally designed for that. Freedom of speech means freedom of opinion, not freedom to be a fucking douchebag. And because of the internet's ability to hide who you really are, people can be douchebags without consequences. And I don't believe that's right. I really don't. If you make a comment like calling somebody a cocksucker or a faggot or making a disrespectful comment about me or somebody who I love to my face, number one, you're not a coward. I actually will respect you more. And number two, I'll knock every tooth out of your fucking mouth with the quickness. And I'm not a tough guy. I will break your fucking jaw. And that goes for a lot of people. But if you're on the internet and you're comfortable behind the keyboard, you can say whatever you want without any consequences. Well, guess what, honey? There's going to be consequences. Because if you disrespect my subscribers, my collaborators, or myself, I'm going to ban you. And that's it. And why am I going to do it? That's kind of the question. Well, you should have thick skin. Here's the thing. I do have thick skin. But at this point right now, the channel's growing to an extremely high degree. And I'm very happy about that. And I thank all of my supporters and subscribers for that. Genuinely. What I'm doing is I'm taking the appropriate steps to conserve my energy, to make the most out of my time. And like I've told you in previous speakdoms, you know, I have a short fuse. And I don't have time now as a grown man who owns 2 businesses, who has, you know, who works 12-hour days like I do, right? And who has to manage his household. I don't have time to get into flame wars with people who think they can say whatever they want. Because this channel has never been a democracy. This is my channel. And that goes for everybody else. Rhyme style bans people like crazy for being disrespectful. Robert Jefferson, Comics Explained, one of the biggest YouTubers that I know. Biggest one that follows me. Also fucking boots people. Filters out vulgarity. Roberto Blake. Another guy, 100K guy. Almost there. I think by the time I'm recording this, he should already be there by the time it goes up, but he's around the corner. It's just something that needs to be done. And I want you to understand, like, if you're one of those people right now who wants to talk shit and then say freedom of speech, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because in real life, you can't go around using the N-word and expect somebody of color to not knock you the fuck out cold. So what makes me can do it on the internet? Oh, well, you're behind the keyboard, you're safe. Because you're a coward. And I've said this before. Keyboard warriors are unsuccessful cowards. And there's evidence. There is evidence to suggest it. Study any successful person. Any person with money who actually had to earn the money, not have it handed down to them. Not a single one spends time. And of course, the internet's a new thing, so it's kind of a weird, skewed perspective, but they don't spend time, you know, purposely bullying people around, with the exception of a very small number who usually wind up having a rough life anyways. Successful people don't do that. They're too busy making a change in the world. The John F. Kennedys, the Steve Jobs, the Martin Luther Kings, they're too busy changing the world. My channel is meant to inspire people. I'm serious. I love the Dragon Ball Star Wars content, but my channel is meant to inspire people. When I dropped that bullying video and people were commenting saying, man, you know, you really hit me with that. I was bullied too. To me, that's more important than any Dragon Ball video I do. Right? Because it helps. When somebody tells me, okay, your videos like make me feel better about life or things, people say things like that to me. You know, not often, but they say it. That's the big thing. I'm here to entertain, with my dirty jokes. I'm here to educate people on Dragon Ball who may or may not know it, who don't have small dicks and big egos, who can't handle the fact that somebody else knows more than them. I don't care about those people. I care about the ones who actually care and want to have good discussions and good, opinions, thought out opinions, That's what I'm here to do. This is not, like Xeon said in his Get Fucked video, this is not an echo chamber for you to troll. I love different opinions, but it's not a place where you can just come in here because you're bored and make fun of people. I'm just not going to put up with it anymore. This will allow me to continue putting out the content that I like, that hopefully most of you like. And again, if you don't like it, tell me why. Genuinely tell me why. Constructively. And keep putting out videos and keep putting out discussions and keep having a good time and keep, talking about Dragon Ball, Star Wars, and nerding out over the internet, because we're all nerds, we're all geeks. We should be proud of that, whether you're a boy, a girl, a man, a woman, or anything in between. That's for the people who actually appreciate what I'm doing. Even those who tell me, they say, I hear it all the time, they say, Geekdom, I don't agree with your opinion, but I like what you do. And I respect that a lot. Like, it means a lot to me. You don't have to agree with me on everything, but understand what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Understand what this is all about. This channel is about having a good time with other geeks, not about trolls and people making assumptions about me. If I let the trolling continue and the assholes keep talking shit, it's actually going to hinder me as making YouTube a business and making this a fun environment. Because, again, you can call me whatever you want, but calling another one of my subs a faggot or a cocksucker, I'm not going to fly it. It's not going to fly, bro, because I'm not going to let you ruin their day. And here's the thing is that people love to make assumptions about you on the internet. The first time I ever talked to QAAMAN, I said, QAAMAN's not real. Quinn is, right? Quinn is a real person. The people on the internet, and this is true, you don't know who we really are. I happen to show more of who I am than others, but you don't know our hardships. You don't know, you're not there when we lose a loved one. You're not there when we are comforting somebody else. And I mean we as a collective human race. You're not there when we do something righteous because we want to do it. It's just you make an assumption based on a very small percentage of who we are, right? So people watch my videos and they'll say, well, this guy's an asshole. And if you think I'm an asshole, I don't care, because I know that, yes, I have a short fuse. I know myself. I'm very self-aware of who I am. I know I have a short fuse, and that sometimes I fly off the handle sometimes. I know that. But I don't talk about the things that I do in my private life positively, because I feel like if I talk about them, I will brag. And I'm not. And if you sit there and you do nice things and then brag about it, is it really from the heart? I mean, I'll give you an example. Right, I will talk about one here. A couple weeks ago, I went to go have food at a Chinese restaurant, and this homeless couple was next to me. Or they were next to me. They were in front of the place. And they asked me for food. They didn't ask me for money to buy drugs. They were like, excuse me, sir, I really need help. I'm hungry. I took them to CC's Pizza, and I paid for their food. People don't see that. I don't brag about it. I don't hop on Twitter and say, look at me, I'm a good person. That was like 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about it now. And that goes for all of us. You don't know the gifts that Rhyme Style gives people. You don't know that Unreal ENT Gaming is taking care of his terminally ill mother. You don't know that. Now you know. And maybe you knew before. Some of you knew. But you only have a small percentage of who we are. And if you're going to make a judgment on a person based on that, I don't have time for you, because I think you're just a fucking clown. And I don't care. And that's the thing. I legitimately don't care about, quote, haters. I don't like using that word, but, because haters is such a cowardly thing to say, but that's what some of them are, you know what I mean? bottom line is, to wrap up this long-ass video, thank you for 65,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers. Woo! No, Tyrone Magnus impression. Thank you. Seriously. I literally do care about you people. And again, the haters don't know. Like, I've spent hours talking to some of my co-collaborators about their problems and vice versa. I went through a very rough emotional situation recently, and I've had friends there to help me out. You know what I mean? I've had other people who are subscribers tell me that, oh, well, so-and-so has cancer in my family. Again, I'm not bragging about being a good person, because you're not really good if you do that. But, again, you don't know. YouTube is just a reflection. QAAMAN is a piece of Quinn. Rhyme Style is a piece of Dino. BLACKENFIST is a piece of Juan. Super JAYAIN is a piece of Jay. But is it all of us? Absolutely not. Unreal ENT Gaming is a piece of Alex. Everybody's made mistakes. Everybody's done bad things. Everybody's done good things. We've all done selfish things. Thank you for 65,000 subscribers. Thank you who have stuck with me from the beginning. This is not a 65K sub special, but I'll probably label it as such just because it's timely, right? Because it's going to be about the myth of, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm probably going to call it like new policy or new channel policy, or the myth of freedom of speech. And, you know, and thank you. Again, it means a lot to me. It's surprising that I've gotten this far so fast. I did not think it would ever happen. And I will continue to put out content that people love for those who actually give a shit. For those who actually want to watch my videos, hear my voice, you know, interact with me, interact with all of us. This is a community we're building, the Geekdom community, the Geek Army, right? Where we will see our cause happen, which is maybe not the complete destruction of misinformation, but at least the depletion of misinformation. At least let's make it, that was a hiccup, at least let's make it less than what it is. So if you've gotten this far into the video, then you probably are extremely loyal. Thank you as always. And what I want you to do to further the cause of the message of Geekdom101 is, I want you to do something nice for somebody who you don't know. Or maybe somebody who you do know. Do something nice for them. And be satisfied at that. Or try to be satisfied. Do something unselfish. Selfless, whatever. Unselfish. Do it like this week. And then we're just gonna make the world a better place, you know. We might not be able to you know, it's like the whole Shakespearean thing, right? It's like, and I'm rambling right now, so I'm gonna end the video here in a second, but it's like the whole thing about how we live in a world that has no real morality, but that doesn't mean that we can't have personal morality, personal integrity. That's why I don't clickbait. Even though if I clickbait, I'd have a hell of a lot more subs. That's why I don't misinform. That's why I don't do videos like big YouTubers using game footage or doing 4-minute videos like everybody else, or short ones with clickbait titles or ambiguous. I don't do that. Now, there's anything wrong with that. It's just that's not me. And I have to be able to put out content that I'm proud of and that people want to see. And thank you for watching it. And long live the channel, you know, hopefully, and long live each and every one of you. I hope you all have long, fulfilling lives, and they'll be extra fulfilling if you do something nice for someone else. I'll catch you down the road.